between a fiddle and a violin. The difference between a fiddle and a violin is about 40 bucks. Next up is Zoe.
Does that work? Okay, I forgot the second half of this, and I just rewrote it, and I may forget it yet again, but we'll see. This is a poem about people and money, or money and people. In God we trust, in God we trust. In God we trust, in humanity we must find the lines that divide your God from mine. I find I worship every time. This light, it binds me to my knees. Beneath my knees, my neck, my ass, sofa cushion, sidewalk grass. I find I worship every time. I worship every penny, nickel, dime. I find a quarterly report, and the quarterly reporter or quartermaster harbor and harbingers of job loss, unemployment rates, stock drops, economic decay. Shut my perfect mouth. A nation of people bound by darkness don't need to hear about decay from a panel of 32 pearly whites, and this includes me. I've never had a bad thing happen to me in my entire life. By the miracle of my birth, a miracle I've been told I'm allowed to view as worth. Like somehow this patch of earth was bequeathed to me, my infantile form seized with greed and demanded to be born in a yacht on a sea, so Maslow's hierarchy of needs would never be more than an archipelago to me. An island chain, the topmost tier is all I see, and all that will ever maintain relativity. And when Stoic sociologists stand on sandy shores with me and make use of the screams of people drowning because they say those depths need sounding, frowning, they'll remark their findings have determined the suffering they found to be incredibly foreign, which warrants the claim that all human pain must exist on the other side of the planet. And after they've come down from the mountain to tell it, they retreat to the peak. A younger me, who played in a smaller sandbox, knew all I had to do to get to the other side of the planet was dig right beneath my feet. It stops being an option when you realize that digging to China, Ethiopia, Syria, Iraq, Iran, Pakistan, Nigeria means digging out everything that's been holding you up. So even though I should have known it couldn't be true when my teacher told me that she insisted in my acceptance of the thought that every plot of land on earth existed under equal gravity, I wrote it down and I didn't forget, but I'm remembering a kid who knew that if I was on top of the weight of the world, someone else was underneath. And I'm not saying that safety and happiness is a zero-sum game, and I'm not saying that anyone's existence should ever cause them any shame. But consider that letting everyone run in the same heat, at the same pace, loses its sheen of cross-cultural understanding when you can unwrap the track and find out that some of us were born on an inside lane. And when we finish first, we don't ever look back. We fall to our knees, and we look up, and we pray to a God that we invented to make us feel better about the fact that we never talk about the people shrugging. In God we trust are the people who were born with trust funds. They were born with trust funds, and they're shrugging. In God we trust. Let empathy and justice rest, thrust wholly into the wind the dust of responsibility that may remain, maintaining only what you must. In God we trust. In God we trust, in God we trust.